Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, wars and rumors of war. We are January 2024. Scripture references out of Mark 13, verse 7. And when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is not yet. And that's Jesus, quoting Jesus. So he's letting us know from about 2,000 years ago in the past, wars and rumors of wars will happen before he returns. And the point is not to create fear porn. I get this frequently when I talk about wars and rumors of wars, and people comment and tell me I'm trying to scare the hell out of everybody. And no, I'm not. Jesus said it, and he tells us to do not be alarmed. So I would push back those accusing of fear porn and drama. You folks are the drama. And the Greek word for alarmed is throeo, and it can also be translated as do not be disturbed, do not be troubled, do not be agitated. And I don't want to minimize wars and rumors of wars. They're awful, yes. Bloodshed, death, they're currently happening, and they're frankly escalating. We are trending towards the end. And the point here is not to create any drama. There's no need for drama or confusion. We are told wars and rumors of war are coming so we can know, hey, this is not the end. This is frankly this is a step in the direction. And so when we look at these things, understand the end is not yet, but it is going to happen. It is prophetic. Jesus told us so. And we just need to have some perspective and balance as to what it is we're watching and know that we're inching closer. We're getting closer. And with that, we're going to go to Gaza. We got plenty going on the planet. Main combat operations in the north of Gaza have come to an end. They're still an IDF present, but as far as fighting and so forth, and that would be in this area, the northern third of the Gaza Strip. This is from War Mapper on X. The IDF has encircled al-Baraj camp and advanced south along the Salah al-Din road. The IDF also continued to expand its control in the Khan Yunis area, and that's down here in the south. That would be in this area. So again, this is from a post from War Mapper. Has excellent stuff, and you can also go. He's got a website as well. I think it's from soar.com, SOAR. Look at some of his stuff there. Very interactive website. It's good stuff. But you can see slowly but surely, control probably the northern third of the Gaza Strip. And looks like the IDF is going to push their way south. So with that, we're going to go to the Red Sea, the southern part of the Red Sea. U.S. President Biden has released a statement regarding, this would have been last night's joint airstrikes by aircraft, ships, subs of the U.S. and British armed forces against the Houthi terrorist group in Yemen, with the support of Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands as well. So here's the statement from President Biden. I don't know if you guys saw him today. He had a rough day in Pennsylvania. Don't know that he's capable of writing sentences and paragraphs. Today, at his direction, U.S. military forces, again from the UK, Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands, conducted strikes against a number of targets in Yemen used by Houthi rebels that endanger freedom and navigation in one of the world's most vital waterways. And this is all about the flow of commerce, is what the big thing is. For something to come from, say, the Far East, Southeast Asia, India, And to have to go around the southern tip of Africa is 40% longer instead of going through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. So you can see real quick how this affects commerce. It's going to be more expensive. I think it's going to take extra time. And I've seen some things that, as far as our summer gear and summer things that we get here in the States, those things could be delayed upwards of 4 to 6 weeks just because of the Red Sea being closed for business. And Biden, we warned him forever, and I guess we tipped him off and told him, hey, we're getting ready to attack you. Who does that? Well, the Biden administration does. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to do something. Well, we finally did something. We told them it was coming. Anyway. And why he quotes Operation Prosperity Guardian, that was an absolute bust. Yeah, it was 20 nations, but the whole thing fell apart. We joined 40 other nations in condemning Houthi threats. Well, that's great. At any rate, go to the last paragraph. Today's defensive action follows this extensive diplomatic campaign and the Houthi rebels escalating attacks against commercial vessels. These targeted strikes are a clear message that the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel or allow hostile actors to imperil freedom of navigation in one of the world's most critical commercial routes. I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary. And I guess they started up again tonight. And the initial action, which we're talking about right here, I believe started at 2:30 in the morning local time down there in the Red Sea. So, again, there's a statement from President Biden. And this is from Intel Schizo, January 10, updated maps of warships operating in the Red Sea, Gulf of Oman, Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, and the Arabian Sea. Here is the post. Links will be provided. Also, if you just click on this, it'll take you to that. So for those of you who are on the website, you can do that. Also, here is the most recent map as far as where things are located. I guess this would be a couple of days old at this point. I doubt we're going to have specific locations. But the point of interest is down here. Follow the cursor that I'm circling. This would be Yemen, where all the action is taking place. And we got noted from our Navy, the Dwight D. Eisenhower Stryker Group involved. Also, we have in the green, it'd be like combined maritime forces throughout the Red Sea. I want to say that's probably some ships up there, southern tip of Israel. I think that's Aqaba, if I'm not mistaken. And here we have the Persian Gulf, Straits of Hormuz, Gulf of Aden, right here, and then we have the Red Sea. But you can see we have all kinds of warships here from a variety of countries. In the red, you have stuff from Iran and China located. Surveillance and command. They're just watching, as they say. So, interesting times. And who'd have thought? That's just a crazy thought that the entire Red Sea is essentially closed for business. That's just a crazy statement, but it's real. It's shut down, at least for now. Here's the link for the photo I just showed. Also, we're still fighting in Russia and Ukraine. No real changes as far as how much land has been acquired by the Russians in eastern Ukraine. But we had this come out today. This is from Simon Atiba. My apologies. Great follow on X. If you guys don't follow this guy, he sits in the press briefings and gives the little press secretary that Biden has, just gives her fits. She will not listen to him. She's really kind of belligerent to him when he does give. Most of the time, she won't even acknowledge him. But he's breaking here in Washington, Pentagon report just out reveals $1 billion worth of weapons sent to Ukraine unaccounted for. So imagine that. We've lost $1 billion worth of weapons in Ukraine. Nearly 40,000 weapons have not been properly monitored, even as Congress debates whether the U.S. should send more money to Zelensky. No, please do not send any more money to Zelensky. He's had billions, and he's frankly getting his butt kicked. So no, we don't need to do that anymore. In plain language, the report by Defense Department's Inspector General exposes a lapse in tracking over $1 billion worth of weapons, including shoulder-fired missiles, kamikaze drones sent to Ukraine, while nearly 40,000 weapons have not been properly monitored, raising fears of potential theft or smuggling, intensifying the debate on additional military aid to Kyiv. Some of those weapons end up back on our Mexican border. I've seen plenty of evidence of that. So it's like a big weapon smuggling. They end up in, Zelensky gets hold of them. They sell them for money. We give him money. Give him weapons. He sells it for more money. Getting a big hug there from Uncle Joe. That's nice. The whole thing's just a racket. But anyway, they're still fighting in Russia and Ukraine. Sweden, NATO, and Russia. Carl Oskar Bolin, Sweden's civil defense minister, advised citizens to, quote, brace for war. He said this earlier in the week. Here was a quote from the article. For a nation whom peace has been a pleasant companion for almost 210 years, the idea that it is an immovable constant is conveniently close at hand. But taking comfort in this conclusion has become more dangerous than it has been for a very long time. So with the news, hey, brace for war. Swedes went out, they're prepping, buying supplies like crazy. Created a little bit of panic, understandably. I mean, especially if this is a group that's not seen any kind of conflict for over 200 years. There's the guy, Sweden's Minister of Civil Defense, Carl Oskar Bolin. Okay. And Swedish armored vehicles and tanks participate in a military exercise called Cold Response 2022. So this has been a couple years ago. Responding. All this stuff's 2 years old. Where's our man Zelensky? And that's the thing too. They are applying for NATO membership. They've got a buffer between them and Russia with Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland. So, but I get it. You haven't had any kind of war for close to 200 years, and you got a defense minister coming out and says prepare for war. And that would be a little bit unsettling. There's the link to the article for those of you who are interested in reading. Again, lots of pictures. Some quotes. We'll look at also with Ecuador. Newly elected President Daniel Noboa has effectively declared war on drug gangs in Ecuador. Here's a little section from the article. Noboa took office in November, touting his, quote, Phoenix plan for security. So he campaigned on this and promised a new intelligence unit, tactical weapons for security forces, new high-security prisons, and reinforced security at ports and airports. Because apparently these drug lords will go and they'll kill fishermen, kill people at airports. Here's the link to the article. Right here will take us to here. And I'm sure some of you folks had seen a lot of these gang members literally went into a TV station, held a bunch of the people inside the TV station hostage, had guns and weapons. Here it is right here. Some hand grenades. Horrifying moment, gang takes over live TV studio with bombs and guns. Putting guns to the heads of some of the reporters. Men with their faces covered enter the set of the TC television network in the port city of, I'm not even going to try it. Well, yeah, I am, Guayaquil, and shouted they had bombs. Noises similar to gunshots could be heard in the background. And with that, the president pretty much issued a decree for the military to take to the streets. And they've got frankly, a civil war taking place between soldiers and gang members. Ecuador President Noboa declares internal armed conflict, and they've been fighting for the last week. There's the president right there. That's Noboa. I think that's how you say it. Ordered the army onto the streets and declared a state of internal armed conflict. So, again, for those of you not familiar, it's where Ecuador is located. Most of this is taking place in this port city to the Pacific. And the reason that's why I didn't know this, but I guess most of the drugs, cocaine, so forth, two big countries that produce that are Colombia and Peru. And so they're kind of stuck in the middle with the drug trafficking. So all kinds of things too on X, what they do with these drug gang members. Military's not being very nice. In fact, neither side's being very nice when they capture some of the other. Not for weak stomachs. If you want to look at this stuff, prison guards have been reportedly executed by the country's cartel thugs, and this is just moments before some of the gang members executed military guards. And there's plenty of that stuff going on both sides. So, link to the article for those who are interested. And we're going to close with Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates have joined the BRICS. The BRICS, for those of you who are not familiar, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. For those of you who are counting, that is 10 member nations. Is this the 10-nation group mentioned in Daniel and Revelation? I doubt it. This group is looking to expand. They are interested in gathering commodities, assets, oil, gold, silver, copper, mine for stuff, real things, tangible resources, not the good word of the federal government that we have. These people are looking to back a currency with commodities, with real things. And frankly, when you look at this map, the BRICS countries are in the red. The ones here in the light red or pink are the ones that joined. And they've got resources. Oil. Russia has oil. Brazil has oil. Venezuela wants to join. They have oil. They have real tangible stuff. They don't have a currency yet, but they do want to back a currency with commodities. And they are encouraging the exchange of trade and transactions in local currencies. So they're getting away from the dollar as far as doing international transactions in dollars. So do I think this is the 10-nation group the Antichrist is going to come out of? I don't. This group looks to expand and get bigger. I think the fact that it's 10 is transient for now, but it is worth noting there are 10, and that's the one thing that's kind of amazed me watching all of this happen. That a 10-nation group that will frankly be a part of global dominance. That will be unlike any other. Like empire of the past. This will be the worst one ever. We've not seen that emerge yet. So interesting stuff. Kind of dumbfounded we haven't seen that yet. But if we ever do have a day where that happens, we're getting close. I'm kind of interested in watching, what is it, the Shanghai Cooperative Organization, SCO. I think there are 7 or 8 in that bunch, spearheaded by China. We'll see. Just keep watching. Any rate, that's all we got for this week. Wars, rumors of wars. Again, like Jesus said, hey, don't be alarmed. If anything, this shows you who's in control. The steps are being laid out. We're watching these things happen as it was described to us by the prophets and by Jesus. So we know what's coming. There's no sense in being alarmed. Do we have to like it? No. Do we need to pay attention to it? Does it tell us where we are in the big scheme of things? Yes. So for those of you who have not subscribed, please type your email address in here. Gray box, hit subscribe. Also, please feel free to share with others at paulthepoke.com. Wishing you guys a good weekend. Take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye.